organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Tonight on Daily Iowan TV, breach of privacy. Police responded to an incident last night at Burge Hall.
And love is all around us. Find out how positivity can be found even in the most unlikely places next.
Iowa baseball is set to hit the road on Friday, and one player is already on the watch list for one of baseball's top awards. Find out more later on in sports.
All that and more coming up.
Daily Iowan TV starts now. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Alana Neal.
And I'm Jeremy Meyer.
Last night, the University of Iowa police responded to a complaint after a man was found videotaping a girl showering in Burge Hall. The student confronted the man and he left the room. And when police received information of the complaint, the man was found hiding in a stall. A fight started and the suspect ran away. This has some residents concerned about their safety in the dorms.
People will say that they forgot their key and someone will just open the door for them. And so I don't think people realize how unsafe that is. But I think now that this happened, maybe people will be more careful about who they let in and pay more attention to what's happening around them.
Officers searched the neighborhood, but the suspect has not been found. Officials say there is no immediate threat to the community or campus.
Next semester, the University of Iowa's Magid Center for Undergraduate Writing will offer a new publishing track. It's part of a partnership between the nonfiction writing program, the Center for the Book, and the School of Art and Art History. Students on this track will have to take classes that add up to 9 credits for the certificate. A few of the classes that they will take are Publishing 1, Publishing 2, and Book Design and Publishing. The track will include editing, getting manuscripts, and proofreading works.
The UI College of Engineering is bringing together the military, cinematic technology, and UI athletics department through its Visual Soldier Research Program. The Office of Naval Research has granted the university $2.6 million for this research, bringing the program's funding to a total of $38.6 million. The research will help soldiers better physically endure their time in the military by preventing injuries to muscles, bones, nerves, and other soft tissues.
The UI campus could be losing as many as 560 of its trees within the next few years. This is the result of a larva that has slowly burrowed its way to Iowa City and infected many campus trees. Keaton Fuller has more.
What is now an empty space in Gibson Square Park was once taken up by a long-standing ash tree up until just a few weeks ago. Many of the UI campus's other ash trees could soon be facing the same fate. The emerald ash borer, a small type of larva, was first discovered in the United States in 2002. The pest makes its presence known by laying eggs inside a tree, cutting off its ability to transport nutrients, and killing it within just a few years.
We've been aware of it for quite some time, and unfortunately, we found it a couple weeks ago. So we knew it was coming, we just didn't know when, and it took a little longer, to be honest, than we thought it would.
We can expect trees like this one to quickly be disappearing from places like the Tian Cleary Walkway, Market Street, and Iowa Avenue. But Landscape Services will be working quickly to replace them all to keep our campus beautiful.
There's going to be costs, other than the environmental cost of this disaster. There's going to be financial. You're going to lose a lot of legacy history in these trees. So there's no way to get around that.
The new trees being planted will be made up of a diverse variety, so if a specific type of tree is targeted again, the loss won't be as brutal.
If you don't learn from your past history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Keaton Fuller, Daily Iowan TV.
There is a new development in the United States' relationship with Cuba. This morning, the two made a deal yesterday to restart commercial flights to and from Cuba for the first time in 50 years. This agreement allows 20 regular daily U.S. flights to Havana, in addition to the current 10 to 15 charter flights a day. The rest of the flights would be to other Cuban cities. These new flights are taking off next fall.
Russia denies they bombed hospitals in Syria, which the UN is now calling a war crime. 4 charity hospitals received missile attacks on Monday, and one of the hospitals is part of the Doctors Without Borders program. International law protects these sites unless they're being used by the military.
Well, it's definitely getting a little bit warmer out there as I walk to class.
I think there's a couple of people pretty excited about the weekend. Let's go to the weather studio now. Becca Skadden, people have been talking about it around campus. Becca, is there warm weather coming?
Well, we have seen some bitter cold and snow over the past couple weeks here in Iowa City, but this week we're looking at much warmer temperatures. Tomorrow we'll have temperatures still floating around the high 20s in the morning, but we'll warm up to temps around the mid 30s by the afternoon. Tomorrow night we're looking at temperatures dropping down to the low 30s. Taking a look at the rest of our week, Thursday we see the high moving up to 47 with a low of 43 and mostly cloudy skies. Friday the temperatures jump into the 50s with a high of 57 and a low of 38. We're expected to reach our warmest temperatures for the week on Saturday with a high of 58 degrees. The temperatures then begin to head back down with temps moving from the 40s on Sunday back down into the 30s by the start of next weekend. We're looking forward to the warmer weekend here in the weather studio. Back to you guys at the desk.
There's lots of love being spread around the University of Iowa. Members of the Campus Activities Board met last night to make these. Anonymous, positive, and encouraging notes. It's all part of an organization getting started here at Iowa called Campus Cursive. The group wants to send positivity around the Hawkeye community and spread some love. The program started off last semester. Now this semester, CAB members wrote more than 100 letters to anonymous places around campus. Campus Cursive will be hosting another letter writing session this Thursday in Courier Hall. You can also find photos on social media hashtagged as UI Love Letters.
The transition to college is no easy task, but it's even harder when you're moving to Iowa from another country. The Heart Workshop is helping students make the transition by creating a program where Chinese students can have support as they get used to a new place. Sydney Zatz has the story.
This organization was started like 2 years ago, and our previous presidents and they did the research on most of the Chinese students in the University of Iowa, and they found that like over 70% Chinese students tell us actually they feel really uncomfortable at the beginning of their college life, but they have no way to speak it out and to find a way like how to resolve this problem. So our presidents think, oh, maybe we should have a place to let them talk.
The Heart Workshop also offers a secret garden workshop. There, students can write letters about their feelings and either send them out or keep them to themselves. But students are able to relieve stress or any other emotions that they are feeling.
The Heart Workshop aims to help international students get more accustomed to a United States campus. They also work to make sure their mental health stays intact while they're adjusting to the campus.
For more information on how to get involved with the Heart Workshop, go to uiowa.orgsync.com and search for Heart Workshop. There you'll find all the information you need as well as a membership form. Reporting from Iowa City, Sydney Zatz, Daily Iowan TV.
Last night was dedicated to the Grammys, and some winners came as a surprise, others not so much. Taylor Swift snagged the Album of the Year award for the second year in a row. This makes her the first woman ever to win this award twice at the Grammys. Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson featuring Bruno Mars won Record of the Year, while Song of the Year went to Ed Sheeran for Thinking Out Loud. Meghan Trainor is now crowned Best New Artist, and Kendrick Lamar left with his hands full with 5 Grammys, including one for Best Rap Album.
Hawkeye football tickets are getting pricier. The University of Iowa Athletics Department sent out applications yesterday to 2015 season ticket holders to renew their tickets for $405, and that's after their price of $395 last season. Any new or additional tickets bought will cost $415. But of the 12 and 2 season ending at the Rose Bowl, the athletics department wants to keep the momentum going. Student tickets prices are still being figured out. But keep an eye peeled because Iowa will be hosting Iowa State, Northwestern, Wisconsin, Nebraska, and the University of Michigan this upcoming season. Well, football tickets might be in the news right now, but spring sports are in full effect.
I'm not sure if that warm weather for the weekend is going to stay throughout the rest of the winter, but when the spring comes around, the Hawkeyes will be ready. Ready in the sports studio right now is Colin Murphy with more on those spring sports. Colin?
It'll be a very exciting time inside Kinnick come September. There are quite a few big-time games that the Hawkeyes get to hold on their home field. The Iowa women's basketball team was not on their home court last night, as they lost a close one to the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Iowa was down by 1 with 13 seconds to go. A quick pass to Ali Disroff, who drives to the basket to put the Hawks up by 1. Neither team with a timeout with only 8 seconds to go. Iowa's Diana Davis, playing close man-to-man defense on Rachel Banham, finds a screen and gets the shot off. Nothing but net. Minnesota wins 78-76. Banham had 35 total points to end the game, and just last week against Northwestern, the redshirt senior scored 60 points for a Big Ten single game record and tying an NCAA record. As for Iowa, Banham was too much.
We just had too much Rachel Banham, and she's a terrific player, and she showed it last night again. But we didn't. We knew that going into it. She's an amazing shooter, an amazing scorer.
Head coach Lita Bluter and her team, they move on, and it's on to Purdue Thursday inside their favorite place, Carver Hawkeye Arena.
If we play as hard as we did last night, we can compete with almost everybody in the conference. Not everybody, but almost everybody in this conference, if we compete with that same intensity that we did last night. So one game at a time, but it sure would feel good to get a win on Thursday against Purdue.
We are going to have to win out from here to get to the NCAA tournament, and it's something we do believe we can do. We believe we could beat Minnesota. I think we showed that we were a better team for 90% of that game. Going forward, we are confident that we can finish the year out 4-0, and we're really just going to have to get after it in practice and preparing for these games.
The tip-off for that game against Purdue is at 7 p.m. As one season's finishing up, Iowa baseball starts their season this weekend, and for one pitcher, it's a big year. Senior right-handed relief pitcher Luke Vandermeyen is gaining national attention as the Fort Dodge, Iowa native was just named to the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association Stopper of the Year, which names the top relief pitcher in all of college baseball. Vandermeyen appeared in 22 contests last season and boasted a 1.05 ERA to go along with his 2-0 record. The team is getting set to head down south on Friday for one of the biggest non-conference matchups for fourth-year head coach Rick Heller, as Houston Baptist won a couple games in the regional last year and look to be a force again this season. Another University of Iowa spring sport is underway and has started out their season undefeated. The University of Iowa tennis came out strong on Saturday, February 13th, and Daily Iowan TV sports reporter Jordan Maloney took the court.
Entering their second weekend of the season, the University of Iowa women's tennis team hosted a doubleheader and set the best start to a season since 2008. Coming into the matchups on Saturday, the Hawkeyes were 4-0 and took down University of Missouri, Kansas City in a Saturday matinee, only to add another victory to their record against Illinois State later that evening. Defeating UMKC 4-0, Iowa added their fifth win to the season. After clinching the doubles points, all 6 Hawkeyes won their singles matches. Head coach Katie Doherty said, "We had some fast starts against UMKC, which really helped put a stamp on that victory. In their evening matchup against Illinois State, it was another 4-0 win for Iowa. With impressive singles play coming from all ends of the court, the first win earned by Amy Taryn in the 5th singles position, followed by Adorable Huckleby taking a victory in the 6th singles spot. But it was sophomore Zoe Dohanix who clinched the match for the Hawkeyes, but it wasn't an easy win for the England native. With a difficult time finding her rhythm, Dohanix grew frustrated throughout her match, but she did not allow her emotions to get the best of her, recording the clinching duel for Iowa's 6th win of the season. Coach Doherty came away from the weekend impressed and pleased with their team's efforts and their competing. Next up, the Hawkeyes head to Normal, Oklahoma for their first road trip of the season to take on University of Oklahoma and Oregon. Reporting from the Hawkeye Tennis and Recreation Complex, I'm Jordan Maloney with Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The last time the Iowa women's tennis team opened this season with 6-0 was in 2008 when the Lady Hawkeyes went undefeated in their first 8 matches. The national duels are right around the corner for Iowa wrestling. The number 2 versus number 3 matchup looks to be a good one. We will have more on that and all Hawkeye sports in tomorrow's show. Jeremy and Alana, back to you.
Well, that's a wrap on Daily Iowan TV tonight.
Be sure to check out our website, dailyiowan.com, for all the latest news. For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Jeremy Meyer.
And I'm Alana Neal. Have a good night, Iowa City.